Good morning, folks. So we are on site today, so just a pruning day. So I like the pruning days. This is kind of the biggest part of the job here. I'm gonna get this older silver maple here, so it's relatively looks like in good health. So coming in on this, I always start with cutting the dead limbs out. Any dead disease, broken sort of limbs, right? That's kind of rule of thumb. Always just start with that stuff and then go from there. You know, see what you're left with after that, structure-wise, visually, you know, and then next, say I would go with sort of getting sort of sucker branches out, right? So there's lots in this. I don't think it looks like it's really ever been done. Overall, the health looks pretty good. There are some dead limbs and some died back limbs here and there, but a few spots, kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see up there, but some bigger broken off limbs that snapped off probably in the winter time. Would be my guess. Looks like maybe one sort of topping cut years ago, but it's grown back in. So anyway, let's get set up and get going on this tree. Hey folks, just to interject on this video here. Yeah, this video is just a basic sort of foundational approach of pruning. There's nothing in depth. There's no whatever terminology, stuff like that. It's just a basic approach of when I go to a tree to prune it. Basically, how I look at it, how I start it, and how we bring it to completion. Yeah, we had a storm damaged limb. Can you even see with here? Yeah, right there. So lots of sort of suckers came out of it. So the branch came back. Probably thin those out a little bit, right? You don't need all those on there. So yeah, we'll just keep going here. Drop right down. Perfect. Little trailer. There. So folks, right here I'm just cleaning up the cut. This is the large dead limb that I just removed on the last video sequencer. So I generally cut limbs, you know, out longer from the trunk because they tend to peel and whatever. It's just the easy way to do it. Just chunk them off, let them peel out, whatever, and then clean up the cut. Looking a little congested in here. I'm gonna thin one or two branches out of that. There was a limb there that broke, and then a bunch of shoots came out of it. So let's thin one or two out of that. This is looking good over here. I got some nice light coming through. Still lots of foliage in there. Pretty much all the dead is out of there now. And over here, I'm gonna thin a tiny bit more, but all the dead is out. So, and then she's come along. She's a big tree. I've probably been on her probably 2.5 hours already so far. So I figured about 4 hours to do this one. So we'll see. I still got 2 more dead ones up in the middle there. So I'm gonna get those. And then all the high stuff is done. Well, that's it for the silver maple. So, yeah, it took about 4 hours to prune that up. So, I mean, that's about what I priced this job at, but I priced it about 4 hours with cleanup. So I would have been there, but I ran into a finicky, like the last big dead limb to get off. It was like straight up in the canopy. It was hidden behind a bunch of other branches. It was just a real pain in the ass to get at. That one branch pretty much took me an hour to get out. So if it wasn't for that, yeah, I would have been kind of bang on with what I figured this tree would have been. So anyway, she turned out good. Got her kind of, you know, spaced away from this ash here, the pine tree up there. So yeah, really, like we went in and I thinned a, you know, a few obviously of the live branches. The inside was quite congested. So I didn't take everything out of the middle because you don't want to just clear cut the middle, right? And have that effect of whatever, lion's tailing or something they call it. So there's still foliage and branches. You don't want to cut them all out, right? In case you ever get a limb failure, you want backup branches around that can sort of grow in and fill that void of, you know, potentially a failed branch. So it's good to leave some of those in there. So yeah, we got all the dead. There was quite a few, well, you can't tell, but there's some big dead limbs in there. So we got a lot of big dead limbs out. And then, like I said, just thinned out some stuff that was congested and just opened it up a little bit more inside. But this is nice. Like we still got lots of foliage in there. It's a lot of crown coverage, but yet I can feel the airflow through here. You can see the light right? We got some light penetration into the core of the tree here. So yeah, she turned out good. She turned out good, and my client's really happy with it. She likes this old tree, and she said it was just a little thing when she first moved here and that, and so she's happy to see it all trimmed up. And again, she's, you know, one of the homeowners that takes pride in their yard. Like, she's been outside here pretty much working the whole time I've been here, you know, puttering around in the flower garden and whatever. But I always like doing jobs for clients that take pride in their place, and I love pruning. You know, tree removal, yeah, it's part of the gig, and you know, sometimes it's kind of fun to do or whatever. But if I had to pick one thing in tree work that I would do exclusively, I would just do pruning. I love it that much. I like to see specimens succeed and grow, and people love their trees. So to see them healthy and, you know, shaped nicely and, you know, growing ultimately in their natural form and structure as much as possible, right? Ideally, that's what you want. Like, you know, it's not all about fine-tuning, pruning, shaping trees. You know, some of them, depends on the species, whatever, but or the previous history of them too, like who pruned them before, and you know, what kind of hack job did they do on them, and whatever, right? The story can go on, and there's so many variables. But I love pruning trees, and this was another one fun to do here. So anyway, I got a couple more trees to trim up in the back, just some smaller stuff, limb up a few spruce trees along the fence line, and you know, a couple odds and ends branches here and there. But that's basically it for this job, other than that stuff back there that I got to clean up. So anyway, thanks for checking the vid, and we'll catch you next time.